I have to work? No! No!
The bigger they are,
6 days ago.
the harder they fall. And that phrase is perfect to describe when a massive content creator gets into controversy bad enough to end their career. But when it comes to PirateSoftware, he wasn't just a big content creator. He was someone who managed to blow up from 13,000 subscribers all the way to 1.1 million in less than 2 months.
Wow. I didn't know he grew that fast.
Taking over the YouTube Shorts algorithm at some point, and even making over $50,000 in one Twitch stream. However, he also managed to lose all of that just as fast. His actions didn't just make him unlikable, but it exposed him, both as a brand and as a person, making people realize that they had subscribed to him over lies or exaggerations, and that he never showed his true self until now. You've no doubt somehow heard about this already. So many people are talking about him because it's that much of a crazy story.
I literally never talked about it. I already know exactly what he's gonna say. I never talk about being an employee in Blizzard, dude. I never talk about it. I never talk about it.
And so I thought of making a video going back to the first ever incident and how it led us here
stupid that too.
today. So without further ado, let's do this. Alright, so the first question to even ask here is, where the hell did PirateSoftware even come from? Well, he created his channel
Dude, that
in
hat is like
2016,
so...
and while his channel would grow over the years, it would do so in a very slow manner, reaching 13,000 subscribers after 7 years. But then, at the end of October 2023, he would take a decision that would change his life forever.
What did he do? What did he do?
And that would be uploading highlights of his Twitch streams as YouTube Shorts. These were...
I remember this. I was kind of a hater. Since before, even before the WoW thingy, because like, I remember talking about this with chat, but I was like, dude, in his shorts, it sounds like he's like a know-it-all, and I didn't like that. Like in every single like, not gonna lie, I was kind of a glazer. I hate to admit it. And then a lot of my chatters didn't like what I said though. Thank God I wasn't as big as I was now, because if I said that before, back in his glory days, I think I would have gotten so much hate for that. But like, I said like, dude, I don't like the way he talks. It just sounds so like a know-it-all. I just don't like know-it-alls, dude. Nobody can know it all, especially when it comes to coding. You could be very good, but at the same time, you could learn so much more. You know what I mean? You're never the best. There's always somebody better than you. You're never really the best. It's just very condescending. And then I remember him talking about something, and the information was completely false. And I was like, what the f is he talking about? Anyway, TLDR, I remember when I said this in my chat before, and there was a lot of people that hated me for it. Not like hated for me, but they were like, Demi, bro, sometimes your takes are so stupid. Well. Look who's right again.
Such an incredible success that for a while they took over the YouTube Shorts algorithm. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if a huge portion of you watching this video right now came across these shorts on your own time.
God, I wish I tweeted about it instead and farmed something in Twitter and then quote retweeted today and be like, well, look who was right. Dude, come on!
Speak for themselves.
But no, I had to talk only about it in
millions of
Twitch.
people being exposed to his channel for the first time and liking it. But how did he manage to do that when so many others couldn't? Well, many different shorts actually share the same factors. All you have to do is just watch one to understand the appeal. This short right here, titled Social Engineering, has every single one of these factors combined. So let's take a look at it and then I'll explain. Watch.
So when I worked at Blizzard, I had to do a social engineering task where I had to hit customer support, and I had to get 50 questions answered. And let me tell you, I got my questions answered. I shouldn't have. That was the problem. They're not supposed to answer those. And one of the things that I found that was really interesting is people that had been there for 1 year were really, really hard to trick. But people that had been there for 5 years were really easy to trick. What have we learned? We've learned that training is the issue. Everybody that actually worked at the company got training in their first year, and then they never got training again. So they became complacent, exactly. The director of CS came, and he said, I want the names. And I said, I'm not giving you the names. You're just going to fire those people. And he goes, I'm going to go to your boss. I was like, do it. My boss is like, you got the names? I was like, yeah. And he goes, you going to give them to him? And I was like, no. And he goes, he's not going to give you the names, bud. And then I sat down and was like, look, I'm not giving you the names, because if I did, you'd fire all of these people that are your best employees, the ones who've been here the longest. And in 4 years, you will have the exact same problem with the people that are newbies right now. The issue is not the employees, it's your training regimen. I sat down with him, we created a new 6-month training regimen, and guess what? I went back about a year later, did the same thing. All those people passed with flying colors.
It sucks because, like, if this story was true, and I can't even, like, know if it's true now, but, like, it's a good story. It's this is so stupid, but, like, dude, if it was true and he actually did that, that's great. But I can't tell whether it's a good, like, I can't tell if this is real or not.
Single one of them answered my questions.
Well, there you have it. The deep voice, with the confidence and eloquence in his speech, as well as the whiteboard he was drawing on at the bottom that was meant to soothe any attention span issues Gen Z might have, was the perfect combination. Additionally, this story made him out to be a genius, but not just—
How do you know if your stories are real? Because sometimes I bring my mom and ask them, and like, hey mom, do you remember when I did this? And he's like, yeah, I remember. And you, blah, 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 blah. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is.
Any genius, a noble genius who saved 8 employees from losing their jobs by standing up to the evil boss. And where did that boss work? At some unknown company? No, he worked at the grand, prestigious video game company, Blizzard Entertainment. Yes, that's right. This guy—
Demi, is this you? When the random e-celeb you dislike just being dumb and annoying and unfunny finally is out of her legitimate reason to dislike them. Oh man, dude, I thought I was just being a hater, man. I thought, like, legitimately when he was like growing and I was like looking at his shorts, I was like, man, I don't really get it, man. I feel like he's like, I don't know. There's something about him that felt so ingenuine. I think that's that's the number one thing. The number one thing of what I like is when people that feel genuine, and like I never felt that vibe with him. It always felt performative. Does that make sense?
Right here, talking in such an amazing, eloquent tone, worked at Blizzard Entertainment. And that's something he would make sure to mention any chance he got.
When I worked at Blizzard, I did that for Blizzard. Blizzard, 7 years, yeah. Blizzard. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment.
Oh my
Anyway,
god!
we'll get back to that later in the video. But for now, all you have to—
Is this how people think of? Is this how people feel when I say like, oh guys, I'm disabled. Nee. Do you guys feel the same way? Yes. Okay, noted. Hurts a little bit, but noted.
Understand is that these shorts were extremely effective. PirateSoftware had gone from 13,000 subscribers to 1 million before the year even ended. That's 2 months, going from 13,000 to 1.1 million. And over time, his shorts have racked up almost 2.3 billion views. A massive, astounding achievement in such a short amount of time.
That's insane.
But YouTube wasn't the only platform that benefited. I mean, these shorts were highlights from his streams.
At least you never claimed to not talk about it. True. That's the difference, I guess.
So of course people went to those streams to see the real thing live. And so his Twitch channel went from 400 concurrent viewers to thousands. And within barely 3 months, he was at over 8,000 concurrent viewers. That's top 1% of the top 1%. Now look, of course you might think, well, there are bigger streamers out there, of course. But even those streamers must have gotten envious sometimes because of how loyal and supportive PirateSoftware's community was.
Why would people get envious?
On December 2023, he would beat Twitch's hype train record. When enough people donate bits or gift subs, the hype train is activated, starting at level 1. While that's happening, a timer starts counting down to 0. If more people donate, the timer resets and they get to level 2. PirateSoftware's community had gotten him to level 55, and they discovered together that level 55 was actually the cap. No one had ever reached a hype train level this high on the entire platform. He had gotten over 7,000 subs and 1.8 million bits. If you don't know, he had essentially made $50,000 in one stream. This guy's community was so unstoppable that it made everyone else be aware of his existence. So much so that he actually was able to get nominated to the Streamer Awards in December of 2023. He was barely getting viral.
I don't mean to talk about this like amazing ceremony, but I remember when I was finally getting off from 400 viewers and I was like growing and growing and growing. I don't think it was this one, but like all the upcoming streamers that they picked out was all literal like OTK little like gremlins. Like it's nobody. It was no one. Rising Star Award was like nobody that I've ever like they didn't even have like a 0 to something like rising star thing. I was like, dude.
But this is just how influential he was in such a short span of time. But what I want you to understand here is that the Streamer Awards actually have way bigger streamers than PirateSoftware and other category nominations.
Jealous?
For example,
no, I just don't really like OTK.
Or Kai Cenat. These
Simple
streamers would,
as.
of course, send their own communities to go vote for them on the website. And they did so with no issues. But when PirateSoftware sent his community to vote for him, they crashed the fucking website. No other content creator had even come close to crashing the website. So it goes without saying that he won the Best Software and Game Development Streamer Award in 2023. He wasn't
That
just
is so crazy knowing that this game doesn't have an update to the point where Steam has deemed this like game or whatever to be like abandoned.
absolutely killing it. The guy was speedrunning being a content creator, getting to 1 million subs, getting hundreds of thousands of followers on Twitch, winning streamer awards, and beating records when it came to donations on Twitch. So of course,
Guys, do you think the rise of popularity of him being so immediate and fast gave him an ego that made him think that he could never fall off? Like, do you think that because of he didn't like grow, like he didn't grow like slowly, not the build up. It was immediate. So from 0 to like two months, 1 mil followers and subscribers and whatever, and then like being 5K, 7K, 8K. Or do you think that he will have been always like that if he even slowly grew? He had an ego before. It 100% inflated it, but his ego was probably always been massive.
of course, I say this with no exaggeration. The sky was the limit, and the guy was barely getting started. If he could achieve that in just a couple of months, what could he achieve in years? Would he become a legend? Achieve stardom? Either way, he was unstoppable until he wasn't. And he had no one to blame but himself. The first incident that would begin his cataclysmic downfall.
Oh my god, the infamous, dude, the manager incident.
Was, in the most ironic way possible, in a World of Warcraft dungeon. Yes, Blizzard Entertainment's biggest game of all time. And it would become his worst nightmare. Guys, I don't think World of Warcraft needs any introduction, okay? It came out in 2004 and revolutionized gaming forever.
The craziest thing is, he could have just said, oh, my bad, dude. Like, you know, there's like times in games where I really f up and I'm like, guys, I really did shit. Oh my god, why didn't I do this, do that? Like, my bad, dude, I could have done so much better. But no, dude, I could not imagine that.
Games tried to copy it, many games tried to compete with it, they all died, and this game is still alive today.
Like, it's not even that deep,
now,
too.
throughout the years, it has received many different expansions. 9 in total. And while they would add more content, quests, story, sometimes new races, sometimes new classes, some of them would also permanently alter the game's fundamental mechanics. In other words, the game that you're playing now in 2025 is vastly different from the game that you would have played on release day. One could even go as far as saying that they're completely different games at this point. Seeing that so many people's most meaningful gaming experience while they were growing up was World of Warcraft, a lot of them
so
yearned
sweet.
for nostalgia. A lot of them wanted to relive those days when all they had to do was worry about mechanics from 10 or even 15 years ago. This would result in the rise of WoW private servers, unofficial servers ran by fans in which they would use old versions of the game. At some point, Blizzard would start taking down some of the most popular private servers and would cause community outrage, with many asking Blizzard directly, well, why are you going to take them down, seeing that there's demand for them if you're not going to make one of your own? And so they took their sweet time, but eventually, in the year 2019, they would launch World of Warcraft Classic, bringing back World of Warcraft exactly how it was back during patch 1.12.1 of September 2006, before the launch of its first ever expansion. It would run in parallel to the normal World of Warcraft of today and would slowly re-release its expansions, allowing people to relive them once more. In the summer of 2023, World of Warcraft Classic would release the Hardcore Realms game mode. These are separate servers from
Why is he giving out the
one
whole
of
f***ing, like,
why
damn,
this
just go to the
decade.
thing!
In his early days, he was a popular World of Warcraft streamer.
Oh my god!
In October.
Guys, by the way, I was invited do OnlyFans, and I was supposed
Be
to join,
honest.
but then
How much money you wasted on Steam games?
not too much. I was invited to go to OnlyFans, and oh my god, I'm not gonna lie, I was so close to doing it, but then I was so scared of falling off as a streamer playing this game, because I knew that like none of my viewers would care about it. Okay, dude, you know what I mean? I was so scared. Like, I wanted to play with everybody else. I really did. Like, Vay invited me, and I was like, oh my god, dude, I really want to play with Vay. I love Vay. And then, dude, I was like, but do I really want to fall off and use all my free time playing WoW? No, I don't think so. So I was like, okay, it, then I move on from it.
In which he and a bunch of other big streamers would try their best to level up
would've
their
watched.
character to level 6.
Yeah, but at the same time, do I really want to farm WoW viewers who would have gotten mad at me with the way that I play WoW? And the backseaters of being like, what the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you playing like that, dude? Are you even like No.
Without dying, and eventually also try to do endgame content. It was a big success, so at the end of 2024, he decided to launch Season 2.
I already had an experience of trying WoW for the first time, and it was with Soda Popping, and I was in a call with Jesse, Soda Popping, and it was me and his mute or something like that. And then he flamed the shit out of me. He flamed the shit out of me to the point where I was like, man, maybe WoW is not for me. I was like, he was like, why are you not healing? And I'm like, how the do I heal?
This time, better and bigger than ever before. The amount of streamers that participated in this Season 2 was insane. There are streamers here who had never even played World of Warcraft, that were huge in games that they played. Some were League of Legends pros, some were Counter-Strike pros. I mean, the list went on. It was an astounding amount of people. And of course, one of the many, many big streamers that had joined OnlyFans was none other
Koneki
than
the Prime.
PirateSoftware.
Here it is, here
Seeing
it
that
is.
he had built such a massive influence over the year of 2024, adding him to the guild was seen as a net positive. It was seen as a good thing, until one day it wasn't. The maximum level you could reach in World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore was level 60, and getting there, just by itself, is already an ordeal that lasts dozens of hours and sees you try your best to not die.
And it's hardcore,
Now,
so you,
Dire Maul
when you die,
is
you
a
die.
dungeon that you can only access if you're level 58 at the minimum, and its appeal is the amount of great gear that it drops. Dungeons are typically ran by 5 people, so PirateSoftware and 4 other streamers decided to take this on in order to get better gear. Now usually, when you're in a dungeon or a raid, there's always a team leader, someone who calls the shots. It's a very stressful role, especially in a raid when you're managing a couple dozen people, and it's even crazier in hardcore World of Warcraft because whatever you decide might affect the accounts of the people playing. One wrong move and they lose dozens of hours of progress, and it's all on you. I'm saying this because I want you to bear in mind that PirateSoftware is not the group leader here. But as silly as this sounds, the beginning of PirateSoftware's downfall was because of this dungeon and what you're about to see here. The YouTuber Dev, otherwise known as Short Fat Otaku, great name by the way, combined the perspectives of everyone who was streaming in the dungeon minus one person. One of them was PirateSoftware on the top right. As you're watching this, you're going to hear the team leader say, run. In World of Warcraft dungeons or raids, this means retreat, but help each other retreat. Not every man for himself, don't care about your teammates. You're meant to stick around, try your best to outmaneuver the enemies while making sure your teammates also make it out with you. But as you might guess, that's not what happened here at all. Watch.
God damn it.
Run.
Just run. Can you tell you, dummy?
All right, so he said run.
Oh.
The team tries their best to make sure that they all get out together.
Masses.
Yeah, he doesn't even look behind it!
Are you fine? Any grenades,
I got last
anything?
stand. You can just
Heal
kill
him.
them. Yeah, you just heal me. Just come back a little bit.
Boss is on me, sitting bear form.
Snuppy, just run.
I can help.
Dude!
Yeah.
Pirate, why are you walking, bro?
What are you talking about? Why am I walking? Look
This
at
is
my mana.
savage, but come on,
Innervate you?
man.
Kill the. Kill.
Wait,
his
is
teammate-
that Yamato?
Told him, Pirate, why are you walking, bro? This is salvageable. Come on, man. He doesn't care. he keeps running all by himself.
Just kill the mastiffs.
Innovate.
Innervate the healer. Kill the mastiffs. We got this. In the sense of...
Or something?
Do you see my mana? What am I supposed to do for you?
Just kill the...
Oh, this bass boosted microphone is so unbearable.
Mastiffs, one shot. Okay, we
More,
pulled
there's
another
more on the way,
house
more on the
right
way.
now. The mastiffs can be Ice Novas.
Now we're gonna wait.
Musara?
Oh.
Okay, get out.
Run.
Evocation's on cooldown.
Where the is he running to?
I can taunt last
How much mana is
moment
ice?
as well.
There's no method much.
Oh my god, this is my first time actually watching the whole VOD. He just left him.
You have a boss in you. You called run.
Getting slowed.
Fuck. Wait,
Anything?
Dude, what is he? A good boy listening to this one command and he just like thinks like that's it? What the
For me?
Stop me. Oh,
I
no.
don't think I cannot stun him. Also,
No,
good.
just run out.
So, that sounded like a massive fuck up, didn't it?
Yes, it did, short fat otaku. Bear in mind, PirateSoftware's excuse here was, I have no mana, I can't help you, when he clearly had 2 items in his inventory that could bring back up his mana. He could have totally helped and saved his 2 teammates
Good
that ended
morning,
up
Dean.
dying.
I
losing
hope you are having an amazing stream and feeling good. Keep
Thank
being
you.
real F queen.
Taneki, thank you so much for your prime.
all their progress. This was a disaster. One of his teammates, Yamato, on the left here, confronted him and was asking him what happened, like what's going on. And this was what PirateSoftware had to say right after the fact.
You instantly ran. You didn't even look
As much
back.
as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
Don't be angry at all. I'm
You
not angry at all.
overpulled 2 packs.
Oh, imagine losing so many hours and then you have to hear this. Of course I ran. Dude, I'd crash out.
You overpulled 2 packs and a boss. I had 1,400 mana left. I had to spend all of that mana to try and put it on Blizzard to save you guys in the first place, and nothing left. You weren't paying attention to party resources. You overpulled, and you weren't paying attention to where.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
That's not on me.
So 2 of his teammates pretty much lost everything. He very clearly ran on his own when he could have just said, you know
But
what, look,
did you
yes, I
know I
panicked,
worked
I
at
screwed up, my
Blizzard
bad,
for
sorry.
7 years.
But he instead decides to blame his entire team except for himself. It was your guys'
Holy
fault for
shit.
pulling in the enemies. It was your guys' fault for calling run in the middle of a fight. It was your guys' fault for this and that. This was very weird behavior. I mean, this is just a game. And he was acting
I
like if
saved
he
it.
apologized, he would be committing a cardinal sin or something. It made his teammates very uncomfortable to the point where the guild leader
It fell upside down! No! 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 Oh my god! Oh man, I'm so sad. Guys, if I put it in the toaster, will it like kill out the bacteria or is that a thing?
had to step in. Now, Soda Poppin was initially the guild leader, but then, unexpectedly, he dueled
5
Tyler 1,
second
who had leveled
rule.
up to level 60 and became a very important member of the guild in a fight that would determine who the new guild master would be. What no one was expecting, though, was that Tyler 1 would beat Soda Poppin, becoming the guild master. Seeing that this was becoming a big guild issue, he had to step in and brought both Yamato and PirateSoftware into a call in order to squash the beef once and for all.
Guys, Tyler 1 is genuinely a gamer. You can call him a lot of things, but he's like a genuine gamer.
The result? A catastrophe. Watch.
What do you want, man?
Let me say it again.
He already said his piece.
Pirate.
Go on.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear God.
I want to speak to him because I didn't speak to him correctly. I said it again. We all did mistakes, bro. Like I didn't say, we are just blaming you. It's about the zero accountability is what makes us so mad.
Wisdom. Yes.
There's no zero
You see the
accountability,
point?
dude. Everyone can do something better.
you-
But when you open up and
No,
you yell
you-
over another
no.
Oh my god, bro.
Person, like you
Can
were doing
I
earlier?
speak?
Nah, I'm good.
You
See ya. I'm not doing that shit again with him. Nah, he did it the first time. I'm not doing it a second one. Not interested.
I mean, this is so weird. Yamato was being as mature as possible here, saying, listen, this was all our fault. We're not blaming you. We just want you to admit, just like we've admitted, that we all screwed up, and he couldn't even say that.
God, dude, Yamato like said that like genuinely as if like he rehearsed it, like it was perfection. Like he couldn't have said it better than he did already.
Leaving the call.
Like that was like perfectly said, and it's like, dude, how can you be angry at him after he says something like that?
What do you want, man?
let me say it again.
He already said his piece.
Pirate.
Go on.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear God.
I want to speak to him because I didn't speak to him correctly. I said it again. We all did mistakes, bro. Like I didn't say, we are just blaming you. It's about the zero accountability is what makes us so mad.
There's no zero
You see the
accountability,
point?
dude. Everyone can do something better.
you-
But when you open up and
No,
you
Why is he wearing that hat still?
yell over another
no,
person,
listen,
like you
can
were doing
I
earlier?
speak?
Nah, I'm good.
You
See ya. I'm not doing that shit again with him. Nah, he did it the first time. I'm not doing it a second one. Not interested.
I mean, this is so weird. Yamato was being as mature as possible here, saying, listen, this was all our fault. We're not blaming you. We just want you to admit, just like we've admitted, that we all screwed up, and he couldn't even say that. Leaving the call like an immature, disrespectful baby as Yamato was talking. This not only rubbed his dungeon teammates the wrong way, it rubbed the entire OnlyFans guild as well as the viewers the wrong way. As criticism was mounting, PirateSoftware was for the first time confronting massive controversy coming his way. At any point in time, he could have just simply apologized and moved on. Instead, he only chose to double down, playing the victim and saying that other streamers and OnlyFans just want to cause problems with him for no reason whatsoever.
Content
What can
is
I
causing
say?
drama and problems. There's a lot of streamers actually in this guild that want to cause problems specifically with me.
Oh, everybody else. Wah, wah, wah. Ah, there's so many other streamers who are trying to cause problems, but me, I played it perfectly. He said run, I ran for the hill, dude. Holy shit.
And have even stated so publicly on their Twitch,
Hi,
saying that
Ryan.
they want to have a fight with me for content. That's not content.
But
That's dog shit. Ridiculous. Keep it. Not going to be a part of it.
I mean, seriously, why would people just want to attack you unprovoked for no reason whatsoever? What a cruel world we live in. The bulk of these events would unfold from January
Oh, brother, paragraph Andy. Okay. Oh, wait. It depends on what he says, though. Maybe he says sorry.
10th to January 12th, 2025. By that time, PirateSoftware would have received so much criticism, so much hate, that he felt compelled to post a long tweet explaining his point of view on Twitter, saying, to those trying to character assassinate me online for a bad pull in Dire Mall WoW hardcore, this is hardcore WoW and a lot is on the line when you step foot into a dungeon. Here is a light breakdown of the last 24 hours. Our party
Okay.
went the wrong way and overpulled multiple packs with the boss. The shot caller made the call to run, then went back on that call. During the run out, another pack was pulled as we had opted to skip it previously, which is never a good thing. Communication was completely broken throughout this, and it was our
Communication was broken. They were communicating perfectly. They were like, help, 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 help. Like, they were literally saying, like, dude, PirateSoftware, where are you going? Where are you going? Why are you not helping? And he just continued running away, even after it was called out for him, like, why are you running?
second time
How
for
is that communicating wrongly?
the dungeon. Everyone played poorly, and 2 people ultimately lost their characters for it. Each person in this group made mistakes, including myself. I have never once said
Including myself.
that I was perfect in my play, nor that I was a god gamer.
I have never once said I was perfect in my play, nor that I'm a god gamer, but during the time that it was confronted on him, it was only Yamato's and the other people's fault. Okay.
I'm just an ex-Blizzard employee that has played Mage for a long time.
Oh, yeah, bring that up. Oh, my God. I'm just an ex-Blizzard. Oh, my God, dude. Jesus Christ. Is he never going to leave that alone?
To pin that on a single person is absurd at best, and if you're calling for death and cancellation over it, you're too invested in this content in a very unhealthy way. If you're a creator engaging in this kind of behavior, then eventually your content wave will end, but the relationships you've sullied will be permanent. Hope it was worth it for you. To those trying to defend me, don't worry about it. This too shall pass. Do not
Sheesh.
not attack anyone else on my behalf. I've always hated that kind of behavior. I have no intention of stopping making things or not doing stuff as I have already been. Those who are banned will stay so. I've never liked that kind of knee-jerk reaction behavior in our community before, and I will not be changing that now. For those that don't understand why they will stay banned, we had a 10-hour-long hate raid over it live on Twitch. We had to ban nearly 4,000 accounts across all platforms, and our moderators received death threats regularly throughout it all. People called for me to be killed both in-game and out-of-game. They tried to get me banned from Twitch, the guild, and WoW. They tried to make disparaging comments about our ferret rescue or that we somehow hurt animals. They tried to spread rumors saying I was convicted of felonies and many other things. The internet hate machine will not defeat me or the community that supports me. See you in WoW Hardcore tomorrow. So this was posted on January 13th, 2025. And while he did admit that everyone in the group made mistakes, including himself, it truly didn't feel genuine. It seemed like
Yeah, it just felt like deflecting in a way.
it was absolutely impossible for him to just say, I'm sorry, I misplayed. He
To say it's just a game, it's kind of crazy because like he was the reason why somebody had to lose an account for. It's not just dying in the game; it's actual genuine days of investing. It's like actual like that's like so. Imagine watching somebody playing for weeks to get to reach that like 50 like, and they all lost their content because like this mother just didn't want to go back. Like technically, to everybody else in the guild or who died there, they have to like stop that excuse. It's just a game that's dumb and got really old. That's not the point though. You're overlapping the point. You are not seeing the point of why people want him to be accountable for his actions. You're not seeing that. In the time where it mattered, where he was supposed to be confronted or whatever, not even here did he apologize for what he said. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? In this text of what he was trying to say and convey, it was pretty much like he was just pretty much deflecting any accountability for what he said. What he said, like, you know what I mean? And like the stress of everybody else having to deal with that.
just couldn't do it. Someone pointed that out, saying, where's the I messed up? And PirateSoftware
Yeah, like
said, apparently you have no idea how to read. Hope this helps, highlighting the paragraph in which he said, each person in this group made mistakes, including myself. Again, it was worded in a disingenuous way. He just couldn't take individual accountability here, no matter what. The top comment was a WoW streamer known by Joker D saying, just take the L, it's not that hard, to which PirateSoftware said, hope this was worth it for you.
Like, dude, just say, like, the problem isn't the mistake. The problem isn't the fact that he made somebody die in WoW. It's the fact that he couldn't just say sorry. Like, dude, I cannot imagine doing that to somebody. Like, dude, he couldn't even say sorry.
So overall, this entire response didn't really help him at all. And even if it did, he would single-handedly ruin any progress it might have had in the coming days. He would double
That's what
down,
I said? Oh.
triple down, quadruple down, quintuple down, and eventually sextuple down.
Yeah, he said to blame
only
other people
call
when it's his fault, if
OnlyFans
I'm wrong.
a
Am I wrong?
content
Yeah,
guild
pretty much.
built on hate.
And a lot of it was from a rogue that was bitching.
After sextupling down, PirateSoftware calls OnlyFans a content guild built on hate. Oh, no. Dude, you can find the oldest viewers, oldest Twitch frogs when it comes to the WoW category. I would never with that community like talk shit because, like, dude, it's the epitome of Twitch back in the day. If you tried to watch Twitch back in the day, it was WoW. WoW was the number one. WoW is the OG Twitch. You didn't have Twitch without WoW. WoW and Hearthstone. Yeah, on guard. Dude, the oldest Twitch frogs are from WoW.
The entire time about every goddamn thing that was going on except for his own play. But the mage is the one at fault.
Yeah,
because
well,
the
I
mage
was
is
just
the hero class,
chatting
and
of
mage has to
the
do
OG
everything
Twitch.
perfectly. Everyone in that played badly. The druid butt pulled an extra pack on the way out. The tank chose to take us into a bad route through the entirety of the dungeon, pulled 2 packs and the boss at the same time. I, as the mage, went into that fight with 40% mana, tried to use my resources, used them poorly, and got myself out when the call was made to run, which, by the way, was made by them as well. Everyone played badly. In fact, the only person who didn't was the healer. And I explained that in the Twitter post, but no one wants to hear that shit because they want it to be a double down, a triple down, a quadruple down. They want to have a villain. They want to have an enemy. They want to fight that shit into the ground. They want to send death
Oh my god, just say sorry!
threats to people over it because they're goddamn insane. Because this guild has turned into a content guild built on hate, not a content guild built on experiences.
Brother!
Because they're freaking monsters, dude.
It's just crazy how we got to this point and we're not even halfway through this drama, and all he had to really realistically do was look at the camera and say, you know what, I'm sorry. We all
I f***ing hate motherfuckers who do something and cannot admit to them doing it because they're too pussy to realize that they are really like not a perfect human being. I hate that shit. I hate that shit so much. Oh, that it reminds me of a certain situation that I promise not to talk about anymore so that we can move on from it, but still.
played, yes, but I screwed up by running away the way I did. I had 2 items that could have restored my mana so I could help the 2 people who died, but I just
Stop
simply
bullying
panicked and ran
Thor.
away. And so even though we all misplayed, I just want to
Zoil, just eat your hot dogs, bro.
say I'm sorry for my play. But no, it was too hard for him. Guys, he worked at Blizzard, and Blizzard employees simply don't make mistakes. That's a given. As PirateSoftware was too busy playing the victim, a clip of the streamer Lolcow surfaced in which he was doing
Lolcow. I haven't seen Lolcow clips in a while.
a dungeon with PirateSoftware. You see, Lolcow is someone who had never played World of Warcraft up until this point. He was playing a mage just like Pirate, but he was kind of having a hard time keeping up with everything going on. Here's how Pirate treated him. I'm sure you can tell from the title. PirateSoftware bullying a totally new player to the game. Pathetic, dude. Watch.
You basically have to evocate to get your mana back for the next pull.
Hi, Streets. Hi, King.
Remind me. Sorry, I don't play the game, so I forget. If you remind me, I can help you up real quick.
Yeah, it's too bad I'm the only mage in the party. You're right, Jen. If only someone else would cast Arcane.
Oh my god.
Only.
Oh my
Can't really keep
god.
wishing for things that just aren't here, though.
That is true.
That's true. That's true. Can't wish for the rogue. Can't wish for another mage to cast Arcane in.
Yeah.
Brother, may I have some oats? Oh, since we have 2 mages, we could probably poly the ads.
Wait, we have 2 mages. Oh, man.
Yeah, I can poly.
Here I've been the only one casting Arcane in. Incredible.
Oh, that's crazy.
It's wild, right?
Jesus Christ.
God, even reality TV can't recreate such an awkward moment, man. Just ruining the whole vibe.
Yeah, it's too bad I'm the only mage in the party. You're right, Jen.
Hey man, I'm new to the game, so if you want me to help with Arcane, just let me know. Remind me.
Dude, Lolcow even like, oh my god, and he's gonna go on Twitter saying like the lack of communication or some bullshit. Lolcow like legitimately like even explained, hey man, I'm new to the game and shit. Just like let me know.
Yeah, it's too bad I'm the only mage in the game, right, chat? Oh, we have 2 mages. Oh, I didn't know that. All that in the face of a new player who was being nothing but nice, honestly.
Yeah, look
And yet PirateSoftware had the gall to complain about being bullied by other content creators when he was literally doing that to someone as innocent as Lolcow. The culmination of all this would force Sodapoppin to take the decision of kicking PirateSoftware from OnlyFans, pinging everyone in the OnlyFans Discord and saying this: yes, I made a decision to kick Pirate. I felt a large majority of people in the guild felt uncomfortable playing or being around him and all that drama that surrounded him at this point. Even though some people may have not felt that way, a lot did. And after seeing some clips today from him quadrupling down, or I don't know what number we're on at this point, I think I'm making the right decision, but still I feel bad. Try to just let this whole thing slide into forgetfulness and move on, in my opinion. Stay safe, gamers. So look, at the end of the day, in World of Warcraft in general, when you're in a raid or dungeon, you have to trust every single member on your team to make sure that not only you complete the raid or dungeon, but that you also survive. This also applies on a way bigger scale in World of Warcraft Classic Hardcore. Because one bad teammate can cost you the account that you've put dozens or even hundreds of hours in. And people just couldn't trust someone who couldn't take any accountability like PirateSoftware.
True.
As soon as things would have gone wrong, he would have probably just ran for his life and said he had no
Any clue where he used to
not
work?
many people really felt sorry for
maybe,
him because at the end of the day, he was the embodiment of
comes to
this meme.
mind.
No one was forcing him to sextuple down. No one was forcing him to bully a new player. The only person who was shooting themselves in the foot with a shotgun was none other than PirateSoftware. At this point, Jason Full Hall, otherwise known as PirateSoftware, was slowly but surely.
Was this in Tyler One's Discord and Reddit? Help us, we're dying. Dear Lord, please help us. I'm Rochin. Here's what you need to know. I have no manner. I wasted it all on purpose. What do you want? I worked on Blizzard.
Becoming a Lolcow, but he had no idea. But that was normal, because fundamentally speaking, a lolcow is never aware that they're a lolcow. Look, there are a lot of definitions of what a lolcow is, but
what's a lolcow? Oh, he's gonna explain it.
If I had to sum it up, well, it would be very simple. It's someone who simply embodies the worst of the worst when it comes to human traits, but they would be constantly convinced that they are the perfect human being, never able to admit fault, and never willing to even when they know that they're in the wrong. This by itself becomes very entertaining, and there are many examples. They come in all shapes, sizes.
Is that... oh.
And even colors. And the mage who ran out of mana was about to join their ranks.
That's wild.
All he had to do to avoid this fate was just fucking apologize, man.
That's wild for him to say.
In fact,
the choice of words there, dude, was maybe not the best choice of words, but sheeshers.
Ended up doing was maybe one of the cringiest things in this entire video. I genuinely can't believe that someone in his 30s said this, but I mean, watch this yourself. You'll know what I mean.
How did you get this deep? Stop feeding into it. All of the accounts that are messaging me are getting reported. There's a funny fact about this. I worked at Blizzard for 7 years. There's a whole lot of other...
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! You cannot make this shit up! You cannot make this shit up! You cannot make this shit up! Oh my god!
people there that still know me, and all of these reports are going directly to them. They're well aware of the situation, and everybody who's messaging me, they're going to get read. It's kind of a dumbass thing to do, and I can't wait for all of them to get banned. Yep.
Yeah, so all you guys whispering me right now with these threats, well, guess what? My
Oh my god, worked at Nintendo, you're gonna get banned! You're gonna get banned, every single one of you!
dad works at Nintendo, and I'm going to tell him personally about every single one of you, so good job. See you later.
My dad
Like, bro, if they're sending you death
owns
threats, you really
Xbox.
just have to report them in game, and I'm sure something will happen. You don't have to actually bother your Blizzard alumni. This clip was on January 14th.
Do you guys think that Blizzard employees who are ex-Blizzard employees don't say that they're, oh yeah, I used to work at Blizzard, because like people will now associate that with PirateSoftware? Like they're just gonna be like, oh, I used to work at a company, you know, it's like a game. You might know it, but anyway. Do you think they say it like very shamefully now? Like they try to like not mention the name or something?
Guys, I swear to you, I am constantly impressed by how ironic life can be. I don't think we live in a simulation, but sometimes I do get the feeling, because some things are just so perfect in comedic timing, you'd think that there was someone writing a script. One day
They would just
after this
lie.
clip came out, PirateSoftware was streaming the game Ashes of Creation during its second alpha. This is an MMORPG similar to World of Warcraft, and it also has raids as well as dungeons. During a raid, PirateSoftware would wipe the entire team. He would kill everyone single-handedly. by
Wait,
pulling
there's
in the
more
wrong
to this?
lead. What would be his first
Why is
reaction?
he still wearing this hat?
Well, watch for yourself.
Sabu is not paying attention.
He pulled in the enemy.
Sabu.
And he died.
God damn it, guys.
No, he pulled the ocular.
Sanchez is a tier 1.
So one of you pulled the ocular. Why? Now half the raid is dead.
Watch
Was
this.
there a reason for that?
I swear, it is so funny knowing that he was the one who pulled the ocular. This is also another thing with Lolcow. They are unintentionally hilarious. PirateSoftware here was genuinely pissed, okay? He genuinely was livid. But knowing that he was the one who caused the wipe is so fucking funny. It showed people that World of Warcraft wasn't an isolated case. He was doing this in Ashes of Creation and would very easily do this a third time somewhere else. It was him. He was the issue here. And his lack of accountability was astounding.
VOD reviewed?
But you know
Oh, that's
what else
so
is astounding?
embarrassing.
His ability to keep digging himself in deeper holes. During this whole fiasco, Joker D would talk about
That's
Pirate
so.
Software.
Oh my
him
god,
out.
I'm getting secondhand embarrassment from that. Actually, oh, I pray this never happens to me. But even if it did, I'd probably apologize anyway. But man, I pray that this never happens to me.
I honestly fuck PirateSoftware. Like straight up, bro. This dude is a complete fraud. At least in the WoW space, I don't care if he worked for fucking Blizzard. The guy probably made fucking coffee for some devs. I don't even believe for a second.
So out of all the streamers in OnlyFans, Joker D probably went the hardest on PirateSoftware. He took segments of this rant and uploaded it as a YouTube video. That YouTube video would then be removed due to a violation of community guidelines, and the person who striked it cited the reason as being harassment and cyberbullying. What?
Oh my god. But there was actual, like... Oh my god. That is insane. She sure said. I've only ever copy striked one video. And, like, actually, a few. I've copy striked a few. I don't like it when people do unedited clips and stuff like that of my streams and stuff like that, or farm for the sake of farming. If you're truly a watcher of mine, you know that I don't. If you're a fan account that you like clip my shit and try, well, that's just literally stealing. Yeah. If you're literally stealing content from my stream and not even adding anything to it, I'm gonna copy strike you. It's just like, it is what it is. I think it's just a waste of time, and etc. etc. And like, honestly, it's just so lame, right? But I didn't copy strike anybody else because like nobody did anything else like that. Fuano, Jose, the Prime, like somebody else like at least like edited the clip or something, or they did something that made it unique or something like that. But if you're re-uploading my own VOD to YouTube and get surprised that you're getting DMCA'd with nothing different from just the VOD, what the f do you want me to do?
Could only guess who took this video down. I mean, seriously. Joker D would never reveal the name of the brand or whatever that was behind this, but seeing that the video had gotten brigaded by PirateSoftware's community, for many, it was safe to say that PirateSoftware was the one who took this video down because he simply didn't like it, abusing the copy strike system on YouTube. Seeing that Pokemon had done this in the past back in 2020, getting an amazing community reaction, and of course we can't forget about Alinity doing this as well back in 2018. Wow, I'm old.
I'm gonna copy strike this guy.
I mean, it was genius. It worked so well for every content creator who had done that prior. So obviously, this was the play. Congratulations. You know, it's so fascinating to me how the internet works sometimes. Someone could mind their own business for months, for years, for decades, but as soon as they do something that makes them so incredibly unlikable, the internet starts seeing a big red target on your back and they strike. PirateSoftware had a talent of building up a huge, loyal community in just the span of a couple of months. When January 2025 came by, though, he proved to us that he had another talent, building up a massive community of very loyal haters. These incidents that we just talked about had ensured that. This is when those very same haters would start scrutinizing every single aspect of PirateSoftware, both as a brand and as a person, only to eventually dismantle this massive empire that he had built. Now look, just to be clear, PirateSoftware has always had haters, dating all the way back to September 2024, and there were earlier instances too. This is normal. When you get famous, when you take over the algorithm the way he did, some people will naturally get fatigued from you. I mean, you might not...
Okay, my bad. Guys, my bad. I'm sorry, I was one of them. Xanthi, the good 3 months. My bad, dude. Oh, Queso. I love Queso.
Not believe this, but even someone like Queso has haters, purely because he's a massive content creator.
Well, yeah. Anybody who's a massive content creator, you're just gonna get hate. It is what it is. Yo, Spectral Anarchist! I think it's a 10 gifted!
No pun intended. Some of these early haters of PirateSoftware would start making videos talking about his past. About how, for example, he wasn't the game developer he was making himself out to be, especially with his Blizzard experience. About how he used to go by the name of Moldavius Figtree and was a well-renowned furry in Second Life.
Okay, well, that's kind of irrelevant, but...
and EVE Online. But those videos would never get enough traction to actually matter. As you can see, this video right here with the title of PirateSoftware, the streamer who faked his game dev career, had reached almost 100,000 views. From the like and dislike ratio, we can see how PirateSoftware had somehow, either directly or indirectly, sent his community to brigade this video, and just like Joker D's video, it was taken down by abusing the copy strike system and inciting harassment and cyberbullying. So essentially, if you were an early hater of PirateSoftware, if you had something to say, well, chances are no one heard you. This is how for a long time he was able to sweep all the hate, feed
What?
back and criticism under the rug. Except this time, after all the events that we just saw unfold, he had way too many eyes examining his every move, and he couldn't just sweep criticism under the rug anymore. For example, around the end of January 2025, PirateSoftware had DMCA'd an indie game and threatened to sue its developer. Why? Well... The developer shows us the main reason why PirateSoftware wanted the game taken down.
What?
Here it is. It's this roach wearing the same wizard hat that he was wearing during World
Oh my god, that is so funny.
the Warcraft, while mimicking some of the things that he was saying. Watch.
As much as you're angry right now, of course I ran.
This whole game got DMCA'd because of this. I mean, this is how sensitive.
Wait, I don't get it. Couldn't they like legally expensive, right? Okay. Like it's not worth like dude, couldn't he technically win during a DMCA like fight against it? Because like dude, it's not DMCA-able. It's not even like a stolen thing. How is this DMCA'd? I don't get it. How the f did they even like Nikita happy awakening.
Sensitive he is. And
Happy
now
awakers.
many people were made aware of this. He couldn't just copy strike or DMCA just about anyone because
That's just it? Because it has his voice, you can copy strike something? I didn't know DMCA went that hard. I thought you can only copy strike something when it's just copy paste. Oh. Damn.
every time he did, he spawned more haters. His strategy was now outdated. Everyone was made aware of what
That means you're allowed to copyright your own personal persona and character? Whoa. What's happening to me? I'm gonna DMCA everyone! I'm kidding.
happened to this indie game. And speaking of indie games, there was renewed scrutiny over PirateSoftware's indie game called Heartbound, with many wondering.
Oh my god, dude. You know what? You know the reason why I remember when I'm talking about like, let's say coding or whatever, and then there's always somebody in chat that goes like, Demi, why didn't you code a game in stream? I'm just not confident enough, okay? I know to code, I know how to do it or whatever, but I'm not confident of knowing. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in a point where one, I could even make it entertaining because I'll be thinking too hard. Two, I don't want to deal with people going like, Demi, that's a bad way to code and backseat. Oh, dude, the backseaters in coding. Ugh. I don't want to deal with that because I'm only doing it for fun. I don't want to. Three, it's not fun to watch. Okay, at the end of the day, coding is a very like, it's just coding. You know, it's very boring. So I never, cared, and I never will do it because like one, I think that to stream coding, damn, you're confident, dude. You're confident. I'm not there. I'm just never been there.
why it's been in early access since 2018 with no release date in sight. Give it 3 more years, it'll be a
For context of the Poke, Linode immediately lifted their copy strikes a day after. The Linode alleged that she didn't mean it seriously and it was her agency that did it. Damn.
decade. Some people were comparing him to Yandere Dev, a very well-established.
Oh my god! Imagine being compared to him. That hurts my heart. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Lolcow, who hadn't released his game in over a decade. Actually analyzed its code, they found some of the worst written code known to mankind. Seeing all this scrutiny and criticism catch up to his own game development must have hit one hell of a nerve, because very shortly after he announced that Heartbound would start receiving monthly updates, and all it took was people going there and reviewing it negatively. He was hoping that this would steer off the criticism and the scrutiny, and that things would eventually finally go back to normal, but the haters weren't really done just yet. People were putting into question his entire identity. The fact that he worked at Blizzard for 7 years, but
what did he work
exactly?
on? Yeah.
As well as him claiming that he was one hell of a hacker who had gone to the yearly hacking conference.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that 1 second.
DEF CON, and won some pretty important events there with the
No, he's probably one of those people that likes to be there in the event, but like doesn't actually participate.
help of his team that he never mentioned, of course. Always taking credit for this
There it is.
by himself. I mean, at some point he was invited
He was the QA? Oh, off.
to a podcast called Dropped Frames. This was a clip from it, and here's
So he just, off.
the title. PirateSoftware on how he became a hacker for the government. These were the stories that he was telling people. Watch this.
What?
You're a hacker. Like that's where you like kind of started.
Actual hacker.
An actual.
Oh my god, look at him smirking when he yeah, that's me. Yeah, I'm the hacker right here. Oh my god.
You're a hacker. Like that's where you like kind of started.
Actual hacker.
An actual hacker. Like,
Yes.
Not like I'm a hacker. No, you're an actual hacker. You won.
Like an actual hacker.
Yeah,
Yeah, my last job was hacking power plants for the federal government. I
Yeah.
worked for the United States Department of Energy.
So
Just
dude
the
walks in with a
and,
laptop and a suit, and
Are we not gonna a QA can have some good designers? No, 100%. QA is important of the coding thing. I've done QA in computer science. Wasn't really a big fan of it. Anyway, TLDR. You don't really. You're only like the little checker. You're like, hey man, there's some like holes here, like that, or like like a little checker, a little code checker.
you lean over to who's that guy?
Like it's like yeah. It's like a janitor. You're literally janitoring the code. You're not the one thinking of the code. You're not the one who created the code. You're just like a little. It's like a game tester. Same thing. You're just doing okay. QA is usually just test scenarios, making sure that in this scenario, what's the maximum thing, catching bugs. What's the maximum thing that it can even hold on and like whatever. Like, dude.
the hacker from the government.
Yeah, that's the hacker.
It's even worse. We go in like 3 to 4 man teams, man. So like we've got a team. Of
Oh, you
dudes
had a
looking
fleet.
Like
You had
this.
like a team of dudes in suits,
wasn't just
holding
me.
laptops,
Yeah,
walking into
exactly.
restricted areas. Okay.
When he says things
We're
like
not hating
this,
on janitors.
what
What do you
he's
mean?
trying to paint in your mind
It's
as a
just-
viewer is that
It's just that he's not being truthful. He's not being completely like transparent. He's saying like I worked. He didn't mention the team. He didn't mention that he's QA. He didn't mention anything that maybe makes him look more like not as important, dude. What a poser, dude.
he's some sort of Unit 8200 Mossad agent writing zero-day exploits on USBs that are snuck into Iranian nuclear facilities and that infest and shut down the entire technical operation of that nuclear power plant. When in reality, if you look at his LinkedIn and reconcile it against his skill set, what he did was social engineering. He wrote
Oh my god, of course he's the fuck. Oh my god.
phishing emails and tried to gain access to credentials and
Oh my god. Of course he's one of those who would have that job.
user systems that way.
So Coding Jesus said it best. PirateSoftware's entire identity was slowly starting to unravel right before our very eyes. From the shorts that made him go viral, to the stories he used to say on stream, to quite literally everything about him was nothing more than either an exaggeration or him trying as best as possible to sugarcoat
no
reality.
way!
We can very clearly see on his link.
No way, dude. Coming from somebody that came from like so many people, everybody's kind of shy. Like, there's no person in the world that's like genuinely 100% confident in like their coding and their history and their like whatever. This guy's a poser, man. That's crazy.
Then, that first off, he didn't work at Blizzard for 7 years, it was actually 6 years, 6 months, and that his initial roles were him being in quality assurance. For the first 4 years at Blizzard, so the majority of his time there, he was in an entry-level role.
Oh my god. Oh my god, wait, what is this LinkedIn? Can I read this? Projects worked, associate test engineer, mentored and led a team of security professionals. Right, okay. QA hacks. Okay, yeah, sure, bucko. QA analyst, though. Okay.
Quality assurance. For the first 4 years at Blizzard, so the majority of his time there, he was in an entry-level role, eventually being promoted multiple times and finishing off as a senior red team spec.
Yeah, guys. QA doesn't barely have any coding in it. Barely. Oh, jeepers. No wonder his game looks like that.
Specialist. In his own description of the job, he said, infiltrated and exploited physical access controls, managed social engineering operations to improve employee awareness and resilience, and finally created, launched, and managed a global web application.
Wow, dude.
As
Okay,
Coding Jesus.
I never went through the rabbit hole of PirateSoftware. All I did know was the little beginning here. I don't know anything about this. The only thing I know is the Stop Killing Games thing, because I was like, dude, how the f do you have like the name PirateSoftware and you're not signing a petition? That's insane.
Said this guy would literally just send phishing emails, make phone calls, try to pretend to be an outsider in order
Holy
to
shit,
have
I didn't
employees
know it
make
was this
mistakes
deep,
so that they
bro.
can improve internal protocols.
Holy
An important job, that's for sure. But even on his LinkedIn, he would make claims that he worked on all these different games. I mean, yeah, indirectly, but none of your code made it to the game. You didn't model, you didn't texture, and you sure as hell didn't animate. You just
What do you mean projects worked?
happened to work on internal projects in parallel to these games. And yet, every time someone would mention something about games, about the video game industry, about whatever, he would always start off by saying, I worked 7 years at Blizzard, actually. So I know what I'm talking about. When in reality, no, you have more experience as an
No, not him doing the body. That was so on point. Why was he so good at that? Why did he?
Blizzard, actually. So I know what I'm talking about. When in reality, no, you have more experience as an indie developer than you ever had as a developer at a AAA company. And that's the truth. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that he made this such an important and integral part of his personality that it felt like a massive betrayal. But that's not all. His dad was Joey Ray Hall. This picture right here is of 10 people. And if you don't know who they are, these people happen to be the original founders of Blizzard Entertainment.
Oh my God.
Yes, these guys are legends in every...
I get it.
Your resume sound good, but this is crazy.
He's a Nepo baby. Oh, wires. Okay, no one. Okay, so that's the reason why he thinks he has the right to have like this ego, him doing all these things, him lying away because like, dude, he can never be better than his father. Oh my God.
sense of the word. And the guy in the middle is none other than Jason Thorhall's father. He later became the director of cinematics at Blizzard, which is probably the only thing that Blizzard has been consistently good at for the last...
True, actually. Wow. Blizzard cinematics are absolutely, whoa, perfection.
20 years. He was also the inspiration behind this.
Okay.
Steam, since
Wow.
it's my birthday, July 24th, I am now 21 years old.
Happy birthday, Dark Arrakers. Dude, I have no idea how to feel for if that was me. That's uncalled. Okay, that's fucked, man.
Guy in South Park from the famous World of Warcraft episode. I mean, this guy was a legend in every sense of the word. And so Mashable.com, when they made this article about
Wow, imagine having a dad like that. That's so cool.
PirateSoftware, titled How Streamer PirateSoftware Gained Nearly 2 million subs in 6 months, they just had to mention the fact that he's a Nepo baby. Saying, when he was 16, he landed a dream job as a game tester at Blizzard Entertainment, which, before the bloated loot boxes and corporate acquisition by Microsoft for $68.7 billion, was considered one of the most respected companies in the video game industry. It helped that he was a Nepo baby.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Since his dad, Joey Ray Hall, had spent over 2 decades at the industry titan since almost the very beginning. Now, of course, after 6 months, he would leave because he felt that the corporate life wasn't for him, and many years later would reapply by himself without the help of his dad, landing a QA role, which I believe, because if he had the help of his dad, no way he would end up in an entry-level position. But still, just them including this sentence calling him a Nepo baby truly triggered him beyond belief. I mean, look at what he had to say.
Yeah, really not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. It's one of those things that I've been trying to fight my entire career. It's one of the things
All right.
that I've had to argue with people in chat about. It's one of the things that we ban people for here. Anytime people say shit like that, because it's deeply disrespectful and it completely overwrites any of the things that I've done throughout my career as something that is somebody else's success, which they have not been in any possible.
That's so sad. That's genuinely so sad. Imagine your dad being one of those founders, people that look up to, people like mention them in cartoons because like blah 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 blah, and you couldn't even like see it as a way of being proud of him, proud that it was his dad. He sees it as a way of like oh dude, I have to be better than him, or like I just don't even fill the shoes. You didn't have to. You didn't have to fill any shoes. The fact that you were able to like just quit your job because like the corporate life isn't for you sounds like you didn't have any like pressure at all to be able to even quit and then come back to it. What?
Respect. And it's just rude as fuck. So, what do you say? In the thing, he said it was he called me a Nepo baby. And he's
But you are one. You are what?
article. No, that's dog shit behavior. Really gross. In any case, let's go find somebody to raid.
I mean, you heard him, right?
Dude, if he just went for another company, he wouldn't have that like telltale like little like Nepo baby. If he worked in anywhere else, why?
Would ban people in chat if they called him a Nepo baby. It's the easiest way to trigger him. And yet, at the same time, the same guy who's acting triggered over being called Nepo baby said this multiple times on his stream. Watch.
So I'm second generation Blizzard. I'm the first second gen.
Oh, this is actually making me upset. This is actually making my like chest turn a little bit because it's just so cringe. I hate when people like change the narrative when it's convenient to them. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, I hate when people like change the narrative just so it oh boo-hoo, I'm Nepo babe. Don't call me Nepo baby. Guys, look at me. I'm the son of this man, and like, dude.
Generation Blizzard employee that ever existed in the company. I'm also a second generation Blizzard employee. I was a second generation Blizzard employee. I was the first second generation Blizzard employee ever. I was the first second generation Blizzard employee.
What the f does first second generation Blizzard employee means?
And I love that shit. I love that company. Working for Blizzard sucked.
Again, a lolcow is someone who is unintentionally hilarious when being 100% serious, and I just can't stop laughing
first
at
second.
this guy. I mean, seriously? I was the first second-generation Blizzard employee? What is this, the Chinese dynasty? Like,
code and PirateSoftware.
you even talking about? And let's be real here. The only reason you were the first, second generation Blizzard employee was purely
Because
of
you're
your
the
dad.
son.
Because back then, they didn't even have a recruiting team. You were just the easiest hire. And I think one thing he has to understand is that being a Nepo baby isn't a bad thing.
True.
I think most people, if they had a dad or a mom who worked a really cool job, they would love to take advantage of that, and they do. For example, Jack Quaid is an actor that was called a Nepo baby multiple times by fans.
Yeah, but he proved himself to be an amazing actor, and I love this actor. There's also a family of like the father's an actor, and all the sons are all actors as well. Oh, what's that? I think they're from Sweden or some like what is it? Skarsgård. Yes. Oh my God, they're all so fucking amazing, dude. All of them are so amazing when it comes to acting. Like Jesus. Like, they're insane. Look at them, dude. Like, Bill's Alexander. Like, all of them are amazing, man.
That's because his parents are
To
both
the point where they're so amazing, to the point where you don't think about the fact that they're a Nepo baby. Who cares? They genuinely worked it. They worked it.
Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan, two very successful actors. His response was very refreshing for fans, agreeing with the Nepo baby label and saying, "I'm an immensely privileged person. I don't think..."
Remember when I said, like, I'm such a privileged person to be in this position to stream? Oh my God.
It undermines my talent, adding that he was able to get representation pretty early on because of being a Nepo baby, and that it's already more than half the battle. So as I said, being a Nepo baby isn't inherently a bad thing. It's only bad when you try to deny it. When you get
Exactly.
defensive, because come on, who are you lying to? And that was what PirateSoftware was doing. It was becoming more and more obvious that PirateSoftware had a massive ego, but also very deep-rooted insecurities. He wanted to appear like a genius no matter what. And according to him, geniuses never apologize. Geniuses never admit fault.
Oh,
but they also
that's so cringe.
never make mistakes and always, no matter what, figure things out on stream. This is something that became painfully obvious when he would play some pretty hard puzzle games and would figure out some of the hardest things all by himself miraculously.
Oh my God. Did he fake figuring out a puzzle and watching it beforehand? No. Proof? I didn't see
After
proof.
looking at his phone, playing it off like it was some genius eureka moment. Outer Wilds is a critically acclaimed, story-rich.
Oh, I've never played this. Is this a good playthrough that you guys would like watch me play this game? By the way, yes or no? Yes, it's a good good game.
I
yeah.
love
Oh,
you
really?
and your one leg.
Okay.
Thanks for being so
Please
funny
play
and
it.
making
Damn!
everyone here have a good time.
It will change your life. That good.
Exploration game that just so happens to have some pretty
Oh,
complex
please don't have
puzzles.
spoilers.
PirateSoftware would play this game on stream, and he would proceed to solve these puzzles all by himself, miraculously, and more specifically, after looking at his phone. In the VOD of his gameplay, around 8 hours and 7 minutes, he gets stuck in an area and he needs to get out somehow. This is one of the many puzzles in this game. Now he would struggle to find the solution, deliberate with his
Yo, Shira Uma animation like it's over 8 months.
chat, talk a bunch, and then at around the 8:20 mark, he would pull out his phone right here and continue talking to chat. This goes on for 2 minutes, in which he deliberates while very clearly looking at his phone. And then eventually, at around the 8-hour, 22-minute mark, he would get a eureka moment.
Maybe it's not with the scanner. Maybe there's a different way. Maybe it's not the scanner at all. Maybe it's the time.
Oh my God! Off!
Maybe the fact that we were able to destroy the surface like that was the point.
What? What is he talking about?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Look at his hands. Oh my god. Shut the f up.
Wait a minute. Wait a
Shut the f up, dude. This 419 is insane. That is so okay, wait, this is actually the most embarrassing one. I can't handle this. Oh my god, that was actually so bad. I don't even know what to say. Dude, that was so bad. Oh my god, that was so bad.
Wait a minute. I have an idea.
Guys, wait a minute. Oh my god, I have an idea. Guys, oh my god. This just came out of nowhere. My brain just works differently. Did I mention that I worked 7 years at Blizzard? This would spread like wildfire on Reddit. This guy is faking his Outer Wilds run in order to appear to be a genius to his community. That's crazy. It's so ridiculous you can't even believe it. But as I already mentioned, he was facing increased scrutiny. He normally would have been able to get away with this, and he did get away with this in other games. It's just that now things were different. When questioned about cheating in Outer Wilds, this is what he had to say.
Why did you cheat in Outer Wilds? What? How the hell would you cheat in that game? Bro, we played it all live on stream. Alright, bud. It's a wild ass thing
That sounds like a nervous laugh.
to say.
Yes, how would you cheat while live streaming this as he stares into his phone for 2 straight minutes? You're absolutely right. The real controversy would be when he would play the game Animal Well that released on May 2024. You see, he played this game before the World of Warcraft controversy.
Oh,
and before
dude, this game looks so sick. Absolutely such a sick looking game.
For the increased scrutiny. But after he had embarrassed himself in Outer Wilds and World of Warcraft,
The video game
people
donkey
thought to go back
game,
and check his
yes.
gameplay because they thought, wait,
Oh, it's not that
now that I
great?
think about
Aw.
it, this was kind of suspicious. And the evidence here was damning. It was simply undeniable. You see, Animal Well is a puzzle game, but not just any puzzle game. It has many puzzles and many
Oh
secrets
yeah, I'm gonna make it smaller when I'm blocking. You know, my fat ass is blocking him, okay?
that are very easy to miss if you don't take your time analyzing every aspect of it. When the game first came out, you had people on Reddit and in forums trying to work together in order to find all of its secrets and puzzles. One of those puzzles was the Wingding puzzle. This took the
Wingding. Suji, the tier 1.
Entire community over a week of teamwork in order to find the solution. This was a group effort in every way, and no one person could have solved it by themselves. The guide came out on May 19th, 2024, and it just so happens that PirateSoftware miraculously, all by himself on stream, solved this puzzle on May 19th, the day the guide came out. I mean, bros. Seriously? You'd also have some people write entire essays with proof as to why they think that PirateSoftware cheated. If you want to read this and have actually played Animal Well, you can pause the video, but in a nutshell, it's almost like he was trying his hardest to ruin any ounce of reputation he had left. I mean, seriously, are you that insecure that you would cheat in a fucking puzzle game in order to appear to be a genius to your community?
It's like if Demi would play Terraria and asking Chad what to do next, and then suddenly I just know exactly what to do to like finish the game. Is that what you're trying to say?
Really? It's insanity. But this was reality because, as I said earlier, this scrutiny was disassembling every aspect of his brand and personality, even down to his most fundamental traits, like his own voice. People would somehow unearth this old clip of him at a convention in which he sounded...
Apparently, like, there was the streaming awards thing where he spoke. He sounded pretty much almost the same, but at the same time, a little bit, like, lighter, but at the same time, it was, like, almost the same.
Completely different than how he sounds today, leading many to believe that he's either faking his voice or simply using a voice changer on his microphone. Listen to this.
Show been so far?
It's actually been amazing. It's our first time out here at Denver Comic-Con, and there's so many people, and they love the game, so it's been awesome.
It's funny because like there's nothing wrong with his voice. It's just like it's just so f***ing deeper to the point where it's just so dumb.
Speaking of games, what do you have for us?
But the mic is also really shit. You could hear her voice also peaking the mic.
Today.
So we have Champions of Breakfast, which is a twin-stick shooter that we made in 24 days from concept to release on Steam. Blew up. It was really, really awesome. And that game is pretty difficult. So if you're into really hard arcade games, that's the kind of thing for you.
You know what though? To be fair, he sounds like
I think the whole voice changer thing is funny to joke around with, but at the same time, I truly think that it's just a bass booster kind of like a voice thingy. But like his voice is actually really like that, you know?
such a pleasant person here. This is someone
It's just like once you hate somebody and once you don't like something about somebody and everything about them you start to hate. You start hating the minuscule differences that doesn't even matter anymore. Like this in itself doesn't really matter anymore. Because he did all of this, now it's like funny as f.
I can see myself being friends with. Look, people want to theorize and say that he has a voice changer or is faking his voice. I think he was just killed by an evil clone. I think that's a better explanation. This, of course, wouldn't be the only clip where you'd hear him have a different voice, like this one, for example.
I'm gonna have to peel my hot dog.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. Oh my god, wait.
I have to peel it.
Oh my god.
Every good hot dog needs to be peeled. Every good hot dog needs to be peeled.
I could kind of hear the voice, but like he kept on like, maybe he started like putting it lower to sound more cooler. Hey guys, as somebody who's working 7 years of Blizzard.
You see, now that I've peeled the hot dog, it's ready to eat.
His voice is fine, it's just
right.
so different for sure.
It's ready to eat.
Okay, look, if you're not convinced yet, here's a more recent clip of him playing Animal Well. This was around a year ago, back in 2024. Look.
I don't know what that gives me, though.
I don't know what is that supposed to do?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Ew. How am I gonna fit that shit in there? Oh, god damn it.
To some people, this was his voice changer glitching. To others, this was him mistakenly getting too comfortable with his real voice. What does PirateSoftware have to say about this? Well, apparently, according to his doctor, his voice went through a second puberty in his 30s. That's right. Apparently your balls can drop twice, but I could only find a handful of sources on this, and this article from the BBC pretty much sums it up by saying that as we get older, the larynx gets stiffer, making the vocal cords less flexible. I mean, this isn't new. When you talk to someone who's 90 years old, they'll sound different than what they used to sound like in their 20s. But to have this much of a dramatic change? That's crazy. Regardless,
I mean, it is a
the pressure
thing,
was
but
getting
like,
to PirateSoftware.
Jesus.
Not only was his game getting scrutinized, not only was his past out in the open, but people were criticizing his gameplay, the way he played games, and even his voice. Things were getting out of control.
In 1 year,
So the next thing you know...
To be fair, Northern Lion sounded completely different 4 years ago compared to now. But the thing is that Northern Lion like talks like a normal person. You know what I mean? The problem with him and the reason why it's so easy to fucking hate him is because you know he's doing it just to sound cooler. You know what I mean? Like he does it for a different reason than like whatever. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just so cringe.
He was on stream with a psychologist by the name of Dr. K.
Oh my
Alok
god!
Kanoji, otherwise known as Dr. K.
I love
runs
Dr.
the
K.
HealthyGamer.g.
Dude, I feel like one day I want to be in Dr. K, and then you're gonna see how really mentally ill I am. I'm kidding.
Organization. He's a clinical psychologist who founded this brand in order to be able to reach the very big and growing demographic of gamers, a group of people who very often will struggle with mental
100%
health
cry.
and not really seek out therapy when they should. His content is mostly educational, drawing parallels between video games and what you go through mentally, and overall, he's been quite successful. Now, of course, that's not to say that he doesn't have his fair share of haters. Some people, for example, have criticized the fact that he does these therapy sessions with streamers in public, even though the person in question consents to it. From Dr. K's perspective, though, he wants to show people that streamers are humans too. And if someone like those streamers that they idolize...
I for sure think it's a good thing that he publicizes this because, like, even if it's a therapy session in a way, I think that people like genuinely forget that streamers are just like genuine people. I think that people like genuinely put, just because you have numbers or just because you have views, suddenly you're not the same person as you were a while ago or something like that. And you're put in a higher standard of like how you're supposed to be, how you're supposed to act. It's just weird. And and forget that people like genuinely have so much other things going on too in their life. I think it's a thin line, to be honest.
Is brave enough to get therapy, then they can do so too. His conversation with PirateSoftware would last over 3 hours and a half. It would get viewed by almost 1 million people, and having watched a good chunk of it, I can tell you right now, regardless of what you might think about Dr. K, I think this stream truly shows his incredible skill in being able to converse with such an obvious narcissist without having him rage quit the call, while still trying his best to give him a reality check. And for you to understand that, I want you to watch this clip.
For this shit right now is like, they come in and they're like, did you know that he worked at Blizzard for 7 years? Like, yeah, that was my career. And I'm proud of that. So of course I'm going to talk about that because it gives context to talk about other things around the games industry, which is what we do on the stream.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes the things that I talk about in regards to those types of things is misconstrued as arrogance or boasting, when in reality, I'm just trying to give context.
So that is the problem right there. So I want you to listen to this phrase.
Sure.
This gets misconstrued as arrogance, but in reality, it's this.
Yeah.
That is the most arrogant statement on the planet, bro. Like, tell me I'm wrong.
Okay. I don't see it that way, but all right.
God, it must be so hard talking to someone like that. Anyway, in the next clip, you'll be seeing the logic behind PirateSoftware's attitude when it comes to never apologizing.
Let me
like not give any context whatsoever.
Yeah, let's say yes to that. I think that's a bit of hyperbole, but
just an emotional response.
No, just say, hey guys. So basically, you know, when you tell the narrative, you start with like, I made a mistake. Everyone made mistakes. I was smug. And then there's a lot that comes after that. How would you feel about just ending it after that first paragraph?
I hate that.
Okay.
I have like an immediate emotionally angry response against that.
Very good.
Because it feels like idiocracy.
Okay.
It feels like that's too long, didn't read. I don't need all those words when few words do gooder. That I hate that shit. Like I super hate that kind of communication of like there's a lot of people that say like, oh, you should just say my bad, guys. No, that does not in any way explain a situation. That doesn't tell you any information that is real. It is hand waving for the masses in a way that is disingenuous to what happened and disingenuous to the people that are involved. I feel like to do that would be just me lying for the sake of lying so that people would fuck off.
This really gave us an insight as to how his mind functions. And as you heard from him talking, he hates the idea of just saying, my bad, let's move on. I'm sorry, let's move on. He wants to sit there and type 12 paragraphs as to why he was wrong, but not really, while others were more wrong
what are
than
we
him.
saying
All of a
right
sudden,
now?
Things make a lot of sense. Now, listen to how Dr. K responded to that. Okay, just
let's see the professional. Hold on.
So I think what I liked about that response. So my hope. So we're not here to like rehab your PR, right? We're just here to have a conversation, and at the same time, over the last 2 hours, there's something about the way that I hear you talk that rubs me the wrong way. There's something about the way that you talk that seems dismissive. So I'll tell you where that.
No, I agree with that.
Right. So it's like I made a mistake. We all made mistakes.
Okay.
Right. So there's something about your sentence construction. It's like, oh yeah, Thor, I'm sorry I cheated on you, bro. I really do love you. You know, we both have flaws in this marriage.
Exactly. Yes.
Is that Dr. K is known to be very caring, very nice, and not confrontational
That was literally
at all when
on
it comes to streams like
point.
this. But in this case, seeing that he's an experienced psychologist, he knew when to become confrontational. He knew when to call out PirateSoftware on his bullshit, and this is what it was: bullshit. In just a span of like 20 seconds, Dr. K had essentially summed up people's entire problem with PirateSoftware.
Exactly.
When he would be criticized.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say before. I swear. If you were there in that stream when I talk shit, I was like, dude, there's just something about the way he talks. It just annoys me. Like, I don't want to listen to him. You know what I mean? Like, oh, like, dude, it just annoyed me. Oh my God, yes!
When he would be given feedback, when he would be given advice, he was always dismissive and smug. And this smugness
Yeah, you
is
mentioned
what
that.
led
Yeah,
us here.
right!
People were hoping that this productive 3.5-hour conversation would actually lead
So
somewhere.
don't
Maybe
listen to him. What's the problem? Are you his fan or something? Not this again. Are you like not happy with the fact that he's, you know, being talked about?
actually make him apologize for.
Yeah. One of the fanboys that doesn't want him to like take it's his alt account. My bad.
For once and take a step back. But it didn't. His empire kept crumbling until we had finally reached the final nail in the coffin. Stop killing games. Stop.
The name PirateSoftware, and oh my God.
Killing Games is an initiative launched by Ross Scott in the European Union and the United Kingdom. It was meant to be a direct answer to what happened with the game The Crew, made by Ubisoft. At the end of December 2023, Ubisoft all of a sudden announced that The Crew would no longer be purchasable and that its servers would be going down on March 31st.
Yeah, apparently you could only sign if you're from Europe, by the way. I tried to sign and stuff, but like they were like, no, where do you live? And I was like, oh, Philippines.
2024. Seeing that this was a live service game, this meant that after March, you'd never be able to play this game ever again. The salt in the wound, though, was that barely a couple weeks after the servers went offline, Ubisoft revoked The Crew from people who had bought it digitally, attaching a message saying, "You no longer have access to this game. Why not check the store to pursue your adventures?" To many, this was an outrage. It essentially meant that you never owned your games to begin with. Ubisoft can just take them away. This also more recently happened with Concord. It barely came out for a week and then the servers were offline. If you bought the disc copy, you were played like
VPN sign? No, because then it will be counted as a fake signature and I don't want them to have like fake signatures. I would rather just like bring it to awareness for real citizens that can actually do something changed. Like, you don't want it to be filled with fake signatures, dude.
Idiot. The Stop Killing Games initiative argued that
you would rather just like try to like talk about it. If you talk about it, people will know about it. You get the link, you get more people from the EU and the UK, boom, sign it, genuinely sign it. And that's so much better than fake signatures.
It wasn't really legal. It was very weird for live service games to just shut down like that without giving players an alternative.
You know, in the end of the day, PirateSoftware kind of did good by this. You know why? Because of him having this whole like thing being sprouted out from him, of him saying the shit, it made the whole thing blow up even more. You know what I mean? Like, it made people know about the petition so much easier because like he was so dumb with his takes. And then it's like, you would never guess what the PirateSoftware said about this. And then like, what the did he say? And then you'd be like, PirateSoftware is named PirateSoftware and he's not for having games to be actually kept by the consumer? Crazy.
With Ross Scott on his YouTube channel saying that games as a service is fraud. One thing to note is that this initiative wasn't forcing publishers or developers to keep game servers online forever. What it simply wanted was to have a way to access these games after the servers went offline, by allowing players to host their own servers, for example. Arguing that if taking games down like this would become the norm, then way too many games would become lost media, because that's what The Crew and Concord are right now. They're essentially lost media. It was classified as a European Citizens Initiative, in which European citizens could sign it, and if it would reach 1 million signatures, then it would be talked about in the European Parliament. It would initially get a couple 100,000 signatures until a certain person would speak out against it in the most aggressive way possible. Of course, we're talking about our good old friend, PirateSoftware. He felt so passionate about this topic that he made 2 videos about it.
It's crazy. Of course, the guy that doesn't even code, like genuinely code, is against like people like actually keeping the game.
Shortly after it launched in the summer of 2024. Now look, we're not going to watch the whole video.
I think genuinely PirateSoftware just wanted to disagree. Like, genuinely. I remember trying to like watch this like videos or whatever. Like, it sounded like his argument was so like made no sense. You know what I mean? Like he just wanted to like be different from the crowd or something like that. Like something like being this all like knowing person or something like it was like really weird.
Show you the first 10 seconds. Let's do this.
Hi, my name is Jason Thor Hall, also known as PirateSoftware Online. I've been in the gaming industry for about 20 years. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment.
Oh my god! Dude, if I made a whole thing about like, hey guys, for this video, I'm gonna drink every single time he says that, I would be drunk as passed out on the floor. Like, actually.
Then Amazon Game Studios, and now I own my own studio.
I would be dead.
Software by the same name, which is an indie studio, and I've been...
There's just something about this guy, man. I don't know. I can't explain it. Anyway, he worked at Blizzard Entertainment for around 7 years, guys.
The guy
and
in the
he
video.
vehemently opposed
Hi, Tezzy.
every single thing this initiative stood for, arguing that it would kill live service games and kill gaming in general, completely misunderstanding what this initiative was
the
even
Galvivi,
about,
like I saw
and
in your
using his
raid.
massive influence, which was still present at the time, to kill it instantly. I want to be clear here. In this video, he tries his best to appear level-headed, professional even, echoing the genius
Give him a warm welcome.
that you first saw in his YouTube shorts at the end of 2023. But on his stream, oh my god, this guy was a mess. These are the very nice things he had to say about this initiative. Watch.
Shit, now this is actually really dumb. It's used car salesman garbage. This is...
You know what it is? I think he misconstrued what it was at the start, didn't understand what the initiative is for, made his own assumptions of what the initiative is, and then couldn't not double down and be like, oh, guys, my bad, I didn't understand. Because his ego is too big to be like, oh, I didn't actually understand what the the initiative was. Oops.
Shit. It's shit. Not only do I not want to back this, I'm going to actively tell people not to. That is awful. That is a horrible goddamn direction. That's awful, dude. No.
What?
Eat my entire ass. The level of stupid that I just had to receive.
What?
Was like sitting on Twitter for 12 hours. This.
Okay, wait, no, there's no way, no.
No, yeah, according to him, this is the worst thing that's ever been made by humanity.
What?
Like, this is like, oh my god, you'd think that this is actually going to end gaming as we know it. But it's not. It's seeking to do the opposite.
Shit sucks. That's a really stupid ass move. That's an incredibly stupid ass move.
What?
I think this is ass.
Wait, why? Why did he think it was ass?
This is complete garbage. All of this can eat shit then. I dropped the mask entirely.
In his very professionally level-headed video, he says this.
It's incredibly important to me that we keep making games and that the next generation has the tools to do so that our medium doesn't die out.
But that's exactly what Stop Killing Games wants.
Is he like, dude, I feel like I'm getting rage baited. Is that not the like
wants to do. The whole point of this initiative is for this medium to not die by allowing so many games to become lost media. And yet, this is what PirateSoftware was saying about this whole thing.
I think live service games getting sunsetted is fine. I've always thought that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
What?
At this point, just no comment. When he would start receiving quite a bit of backlash, of course now there's more dislikes, but when it first released, I'd say 30% of the like to dislike ratio was dislikes. He made this pinned comment, outlining some points that don't really help his very aggressive reaction that came out of nowhere, and then ended it with a quotation saying he won't even talk to Ross, who is the founder of Stop Killing Games. To which he replied with, correct. I think his position is disingenuous due to his comments about how this could be pushed through government. It's a bad direction, removes validity for what the initiative is trying to do, portrays the process in an incorrect manner, and just builds sensationalism. Thinking that kind of language is okay puts him squarely on my not worth it to talk to list, as there are others that could have a more productive conversation. So what he's talking about is this slide here. This one slide in the entirety of this initiative is the only reason why he refuses to talk to Ross. It says, reasons the European Citizens Initiative could pass. Politicians like easy wins. Politicians mostly don't care about video games. The law is already unclear on this practice. The initiative is in line with other consumer policies. It's a diversion from more serious topics. Now, according to Ross, this was a half-truth, half-joke slide. And I think that's how a normal person would view it. I don't think it was tone deaf in any.
Dude.
Way, but it angered the hell out of PirateSoftware for some reason. I don't know why. Some people theorize that it's because he got close to Ludwig and
What the fuck does he have to do with this? Of course, he has to be like brought into this video for zero reason.
together they founded the games publisher Off-Brand Games. When the Stop Killing Games initiative came out, they were in the process of releasing a live service multiplayer game. So there was definitely some sort of a conflict of interest here. Regardless, this European Citizens Initiative had a 1-year deadline. It would be automatically closed on the 31st of July, 2025.
Guys, that's so soon! Oh my god!
And by the end of June, it barely had 500,000 signatures, which meant it had no hope of ever reaching 1 million, or so it seemed. This was until Accursed Farms, the channel owned by Ross Scott, would release a video titled
Did I tell
The
you
End
that
of
worked
Stop
at
Killing
Blizzard for 7 years? Did I tell you that worked at Blizzard for 7
Games.
years?
It's an hour-long video that kind of reminds us what this initiative is about, how we got here, the feedback and criticism he's received, the changes he's made, and of course the majority of the video is him responding to PirateSoftware's very aggressive
Yes! Drop a farm! Yes!
criticisms. Most of the clips of PirateSoftware crashing out over the Stop Killing Games initiative were actually from this video. Ross addresses every single one and ended up, whether intentional or not, making PirateSoftware look like a clown who had no idea what he was talking about. This video almost has 1 million views, and many people watched it. Some of those people happen to be way bigger content creators than PirateSoftware, and seeing that this very important initiative was very close to failure, tried their best to bring as many people as possible.
My god, dude. Oh my god, thank god that he's such a like egotistical dumb dude for that. Wow.
Possible to sign.
Yeah, it's ready. It's so loud.
For example, Moist Critical talked about it in his videos at over 3.5 million views. Hell, even Jacksepticeye talked about it on his second channel, and the video's sitting at over 1 million views. People understood that this initiative wasn't just a good thing for video games, it was integral to ensure its survival for the future. Hell, even Minecraft creator Notch had something to say.
Wait, Notch
tweeting,
said something
"Hey guys,
too?
just got back to gaming after a brief break. Wait, why is there a Nepo baby doubling down over there?"
Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I would never recover from that. If my goat Notch, somebody I look so highly upon, said that about me, oh my. And he doesn't even tweet much, does he? Dude. Don't say that to me. Why? Don't call him your goat. Why? Oh. All I know about him is like he's like the creator of Minecraft. Oh no. What did he say? Notch has bad reputation, really? He's a transphobe and a Nazi? What? Are you serious? And he's mega racist? What? I didn't know about this. Oh, that makes me so sad. But guys, he worked at 7 years at Mojang. Oh. Really? That sucks. That's actually so sad. I'm so sad. I had no idea about that. That's so insane. I'm gonna Google that. Notch? Nazi? Question mark. What did he say? Oh my god! Oh my my god! Why? Dude.
Adding, if buying a game is not a purchase, then pirating them is not theft. This truly solidified the position of
God, even the worst person you know
hell.
is
Even
against
Minecraft
you.
creator
Like, dude, how
Notch
can you
tweeting,
be?
"Hey guys, just got back to gaming after a brief break."
Dude! Oh my god!
Wait, why is there a Nepo baby doubling down over there? Adding, if buying a game is not a purchase, then pirating them is not theft. This truly solidified the position of
Dude, they should have added the hat! Where's the hat? Oh my god. Yeah, heartbreaking, the worst person you know just made a great point. Like, man. That's so disappointing. I had no idea that he was like that. Oh, dude.
PirateSoftware in the Hall of Fame of Lolcows. It was undeniable at this point. His stupidity had made an entire movement.
All I knew is that, like, as a 12-year-old playing his game, it made my childhood. You know what I mean?
Succeed just purely on the basis of him being so unaware of what was going on. He lacked the most basic form of self-awareness. And thanks to that, the Stop Killing Games initiative not only reached 1 million signatures, but is currently at over 1.3 million in overdrive, about to reach 1.4 million any time now, with the UK petition reaching double the signatures required. He even had a vice president of the European Parliament voicing support for this initiative and signing the petition himself while urging other Europeans to do the same. This initiative gained so much traction that a publisher group full of the biggest publishers on the planet, including EA and Ubisoft for example, responded saying that these proposals would curtail developer choice and that it was unsustainable and unfeasible. In other words, they were very scared that this could actually pass. Being a gamer myself, I wish this initiative the best of luck in Parliament, and I truly hope it passes.
I didn't
When I
think
buy
that
a
makes a
digital
company
game, I'd like to know that I actually own it and that I won't
have
be
to
taken away
actually
from
think
me
about
at any
selling
given
games
moment.
properly.
But while this initiative was gaining a
Finally.
lot of positive attention, PirateSoftware, on the other hand, was gaining all the negative attention. He's currently bleeding over 10,000 subscribers daily on his YouTube channel and has currently lost a massive chunk of his viewership on Twitch. I mean, look at these numbers. He used to peak 15,000 concurrent viewers and is now down to 5,000. That's 1/3 of where he used to be 7 months ago. And that's without mentioning all the followers he's been losing. I mean, look at this, minus 50,000 just in July. Additionally, this renewed scrutiny has
I never follow them.
prompted many YouTubers like Coding Jesus and Slop News Network to analyze the code.
Demi,
that
did you know he used to pay his mods for the hype trick? No. No. So instead of just like helping the hype train happen and him like donating, he kind of faked it his way? No. He did a bigger fraud than what you did with the subs last time, Demi. Wow, really? Wow.
writes on stream, concluding that a child, a literal toddler, can probably do a better job. Seriously, this is the gift that keeps on giving. Because, of course, instead of just apologizing, taking a step back, taking the L for once, admitting you made a mistake, maybe taking some advice that Dr. K gave you, he would triple down or quadruple down, I guess I can't even keep track at this point, and make this post, saying the most interesting narrative is that my video somehow killed the initiative. This graph shows that the initiative already had a downward trend in interest when my videos dropped. My videos do not seem to have had any impact on the movement at all. Making me the villain did though. Best of luck with your next steps. So at this point, I can't help but
God, the way he talks, dude.
be impressed how much he's willing to die on hills that don't.
Streamer PirateSoftware has responded to the claims that his record-breaking Twitch hype train was faked for the achievement. Why is there Mr. Beast over here? Since criticizing the stop gaming movement, Pirate has no, Kronos used his own money to do this as it was okay, so he wasn't paid for. He asked his mods to pay, like, help the. Oh my god. Oh my god. That is so. He did the mod donate on his own? Why was he talking about that then? No. What do you mean? What do you mean? Like, literally, he leaked the DMs himself? Why would he talk about this? Oh, that's so cringe. He pays his mod, so he can't say he didn't reimburse them, but we'll never know. Oh my god, that's so cringe.
Don't matter. People aren't even tracking cumulative signatures and daily signatures. They just understood that this initiative is worth fighting for, it's very important for the longevity of games as a medium, and that you, with your
The amount of first-time chatters saying, like, did you know he worked in Blizzard? Oh my god. Crisley, they got 5 months!
massive platform, not only criticized it very aggressively, thinking that this was going to be an easy win that made you out to be a genius, but urged all your audience, all your strong community to not sign it when they were telling you to sign it initially. That's how you even found out about the initiative. He would then later tweet this, saying, I am no longer working at Off-Brand Games. People were attacking all of the games we were publishing and trying to mass review bomb them. You can dislike the things I say, but this kind of behavior is unhinged. Learned a lot there, accomplished a lot, hope they succeed regardless, love those dudes and loved working with them, hope they keep cooking. Ludwig would reply to this, saying, stop killing games is a good initiative, but a few bad actors review bombed / harassed developers of the games we support at Off-Brand Games. Appreciate Thor stepping down for the betterment of the devs and their games, to which he would...
Oh my god, not the context. Rivals of Aether 2 has not been review bomb, verifying this is easy as opening the Steam page and looking at the graph of reviews. Oh my.
Get community noted. The note said, Rivals of Aether 2 has not been review bombed. Verifying this is as easy as opening the Steam page and looking at the graph of reviews. And if we go to the game, scroll down, and look at the graph that shows review trends, we can very clearly see that there's no review bombing going on. If anything, there's positive bombing. Look at all these positive reviews in June. But hey, anything to be the victim, right? In fact, the guy became such a victim that I think he started losing his mind. He started comparing his current situation with the Stop Killing Games initiative to Coney 2012.
What's Coney 2012?
No, I'm sorry. This is a full-fledged, fully developed and evolved Lolcow. There's no way you can say this while being self-aware. It's impossible. And after months of complaining about people the
human trafficking in Africa?
Gating and harassing him, he does the same exact thing to Coding Jesus. He would leave a comment on his code review video and would then link his comment to his so that they can go upload it in an effort to ratio the video itself. Like, how petty is that? Come on, man.
Do you make a link to it? You have to click on the little 6 hours edited. Aha! So that does.
I was 12 years old when that happened. My age is the year. Like, if you see 2025, I'm 25.
Doesn't seem to do it. Oh, do I have to right click on this and then copy link address?
Name 2000, I got tier 1.
Is that what does this? Ah, it does highlighted comment. There we go. Boop. There's my comment on it.
No, I watched one video about it. If it's about the whole, like, kids becoming used for... I don't know if I'm talking about the same thing, actually. Let me double check if I'm talking about the same thing. Oh, Internet Historian has a video on it? Okay.
Enjoy. And I also have a whole argument with a whole bunch of people in the replies in there so they can see what's going on with it. I talked to them through the entire thing of why I did that all in an array, because that is not normal practice to do that, and it's specifically so that you guys can reverse engineer the game and solve the ARG. Sometimes doing bad practice has meaning, which is
Whatever, man. He later deleted the spot because this literally breaks YouTube TOS. This breaks every aspect of terms of service when it comes to brigading and harassment. I mean, at this point, can this get any worse? Yes. He'd be asked about his opinion when it comes to Stop Killing Games finally reaching 1 million signatures, and he said, "I'm going to be honest with you.
Oh, he triple, quadruple, sextillion doubles down, dude.
I hope that your initiative gets everything that you asked for, but nothing you wanted, and I'll leave it there." See, if I was 12 years old, I would have probably thought this was really cool, but now it's just edgy beyond cringe. But listen, as much as this was a ridiculous roller coaster ride on the Lolcow Express, someone did end up asking him, "Hey man, would you consider making an apology video, setting everything straight? Because you know what, this is still salvageable. You can still redeem yourself." And here's what he had.
In my opinion, it's never late to say sorry. Even if, like, the whole world is against you. As long as you change yourself for you, and not for anybody else, not for stream, not for whatever, but for you and to get better, I fully support that. But do I think that he'd ever do it with that kind of ego?
To say.
Put up a video saying you were wrong with every situation and the internet move on. I am not doing that. I don't.
Yeah, okay, there it is.
Yeah, simply bend the knee and lie about how you feel, and everyone will stop bullying you. That's a great idea, dude. Yeah, no, eat shit.
Wow.
This guy is so hopeless, man. Now, I will say this because I'm sure this will appear in the comments. Yes, I'm aware that PirateSoftware is a massive furry, and I'm also aware that he was legally married to someone, and during that marriage, he got in contact with one of the Kickstarter backers of Earthbound, the game he's working on, and started a very inappropriate 18+ relationship with them while being married. Yes, he committed adultery. The reason why I didn't mention this in the video is because it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. If he had just apologized during the WoW Classic incident, this coming out wouldn't have done
He what?
anything to him, because guess what? Most of these messages involved 18+ roleplay, but more specifically, furry roleplay. Yes, they would literally say to themselves, pets you, nuzzles you, plays with your tail, and then get, you know,
I don't give a fuck about people's kinks and shit, but like, damn, bro, he's a cheater too? Man.
more 18+ into
God,
it.
how
Yes,
worse
most
can you
people couldn't
go?
even read one page of chat logs because of how cringy it is. So I'm so convinced it wouldn't have done anything to his reputation. It's meaningless to talk about. But if you're interested, you can check out this video by Fearful Tears titled PirateSoftware, the most delusional Twitch streamer. Look, PirateSoftware is a lesson not just in content creation, but in quite literally anything. Normal people make mistakes, and
He was also twice the person's age. Yeah. Ugh.
geniuses make mistakes too. We're all human. Admitting that you make a mistake isn't you admitting that you have a weakness. No, on the contrary.
True. True. It's so attractive when people like are able to see the wrong that they're doing. They could like,
Admitting that you're wrong is a weakness in itself because it shows how insecure you are, how
love,
fragile
like,
of an ego
character
you
arcs.
have, and it'll only make people want to
Love
avoid
people
you.
getting
And what's the
better
point?
and changing.
PirateSoftware is the stupid person's definition of a genius, and he managed to ride that wave for a little while. But now the party's over, and he only has himself to blame. He'll still be a content creator. He'll still have a sizable audience.
I don't know. I've met so many people in my life, and I'm not gonna lie. I've met so many people that say the most hypocritical shit, or like, let's say they say the most. They say they'll change, and in the end of the day, they'll change just for you, but not for them, and then they'll just go back after you like. Are able to feel that change, and then they'll just never actually change. I felt that for so many times in my life. I'm so sick of people like that. I'm so sick of it. I love when people are admitting it to like changing genuinely and showcasing that they're taking the steps to change and stuff like that. I'm all for it. But like, I'm just so sick of it, man. I'm so sick of people that like say like, oh no, I've never changed. I never did this. I never did that. And then like, in the end of the day, they do the same thing. Maturity is able to deal with the fact that everyone f***ed up or does wrong. Yeah, this guy won't ever reach it. I think he's too much of a narcissist. Hi, Luna. Hi, Luna. I think the moment when you're such a narcissist to the point where you see yourself as like always right, and you don't question yourself. Oh my God, if you've ever watched me like for a while, you'll know that in a lot of decisions I make, I question myself a lot. I have to ask chat. I have to ask around. I have to be like, do you think this was the right decision? Do you think that this is good? This is blah, 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 blah. Because like I'm just never like for sure right. I want different opinions, different like things to hear about, just to double check whether I made the right decision or etc. etc. I don't want to be surrounded by yes men. I know for a fact that my in real life friends would like tell me like, Demi. You know what I mean? Like that's why I asked like multiple people so I could have multiple like you know, opinions on it. But jeepers, seeing somebody that, oh my God, wow, I don't even know how he could ever like make it back.
But he'll never be able to touch the sky like he did at the end of 2023. And they're never coming back unless he finally humbles his dumbass. Anyway, thank you so much for watching the entire video up until the end. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next video fairly soon. Yeah, I love you so much. Mwah.
Sheeshers, man. Sheeshers. Wow. That's insane, dude. That's actually insane. My God. That was a hell of a video. I never thought I would be watching that. God. That was rough. If I'm being honest, that was such a rough watch sometimes. Like, it was truly rough. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, it was not even like... It's like genuine f***ups. Like, genuine. It's insane.
I was watching a video that was critiquing you for mentioning you work at Blizzard so much. I literally never talk about it. When I worked at Blizzard, I did that for Blizzard. Blizzard, 7 years, yeah. Blizzard. I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment. Used to work at Blizzard Entertainment. You're red team specialist for Blizzard Entertainment. And Blizzard is having worked at Blizzard. I grew up at Blizzard.
Oh my God.
Blizzard. Game industry for Blizzard.
The fact that it was never a repeat 2 of a clip.
Entertainment. Blizzard. Yeah, no, I worked at Blizzard back when I used to work at Blizzard, when I was at Blizzard. For those who don't understand, like, I used to work at Blizzard Entertainment. I know how to do that because I worked at Blizzard. Example of this when I was at Blizzard. How do you know so many things? I worked at Blizzard for 7 years. I don't think I'm better than other people. I do think that it's funny because you can that. There's a lot of people that brought that up. And it's like, I never said that I was. I think...
It wouldn't be an issue if he just accepted, yeah, I love talking about it. I do talk about it. I talk about it a lot.
Sometimes the things that I talk about in regards to those types of things is misconstrued.
Like, I know for a fact I talk about my disability a lot or my past a lot because I know there's new viewers that don't know the lore and stuff. So I like talking about it, rehashing stuff and giving context and stuff like that. I get it. But I don't act like I don't like... I know I talk about it a lot, dude. To be fair, like, it's not my past. It's my current, you know, type.
As arrogance or boasting, when in reality, I'm just trying to give context.
So that...
What's it, lore? I have problems with my knees and my joints dislocating. It's from my mom. It's called EDS.
That is the problem right there. So I want you to listen to this phrase. Sure. This gets misconstrued as arrogance, but in reality, it's this.
I was the first second-generation Blizzard employee.
Of course, that's the highlighted one. First second-generation Blizzard employee is a really funny way to say first Nepo baby at Blizzard.